Hi guys, welcome back to the channel and welcome back to another unboxing and review. So today we're going to be unboxing another one from Hornby. Now it's one I've had for quite a long time and I've just not got round to reviewing it yet. I've had it for quite a while now, at least over a year, and I've heard such amazing things about this model, so I'm really looking forward to unboxing it. And today we are going to be unboxing the W4 Peckett from Hornby. So I've got Niclausse here. And what we're going to do is we're going to unbox it, we're going to take a look at the detail, a closer look of it, and then obviously we'll get it down on the track behind me and obviously see how the locomotive performs. So, let's get into this. So yeah guys, there is Hornby's W4 Peckett Niclausse. Now I've been really looking forward to unboxing this one for such a long time. So yeah, I'm not going to keep us waiting, but let's just quickly take a look at the side of the box. So obviously you've got the product code there, R3640, Williams and Robbins Peckett W4 Niclausse, numbered 882, and it is DCC ready. So let's go ahead and get this out the sleeve. And you do obviously get the usual stuff you get from Hornby, obviously the instructions manual. But yeah, first impressions, looks pretty good. So what we're going to do is we're going to just gently slide this out of here. And yeah, again, first impressions, it's looking very nice, glossy finish to it already from what I can see in the plastic sleeve. But let's obviously see what it looks like out of there. And yeah, wow. First impressions, I have to say, really impressed. I mean, there looks to be an incredible amount of detail attached to here. Obviously the handrails and everything, and the weight of it. The weight is actually quite something. I'm quite shocked on how weighty this loco is. I could dare say it weighs quite a bit, although I have heard that a lot of this is actually made out of die cast. A lot of this body is metal. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put it down, and obviously we'll take a closer look at the Peckett. So yeah, there is the Peckett Niclausse up and close for everyone. So, first things first, I want to point out is, like I said, just how weighty that is. Now, from what I've seen here, the running plate itself is actually die cast, as well as a good chunk of the boiler and the water tanks and everything here. Now, you've got this beautiful lining that you can see around the cab, and then obviously you can see all around here, and even on the cylinders as well. You can see that really stunning lining. Now, one thing I do want to point out is, considering obviously the price, so the price for this currently is £127.50 that you can find on the Hornby website. You can probably find it a lot cheaper at certain retailers if you do your research, but I would say for the price I would expect maybe a little bit more metal work on here. Now in terms of obviously when I'm saying more metal work, now the top of the chimney and obviously the safety valve dome, now they are plastic, and obviously as well a lot of the pipe work here and everything is plastic, although you do have quite these nice chrome hand rails here on the side. And yeah, like I said, I would just expect them to be metal for what the price of this locomotive is, considering going back quite a few years ago now. Obviously you could probably pick this up for around £90 to £100, and obviously it's now £127, so yeah, it's quite disappointing in that sense, but overall it still hasn't taken away from the finish of the model itself. Now you do have actually a metal whistle here on top of the cab, which is quite unusual, and then you've got this really nice riveting actually on top of the cab there as well. Now in terms of what makes this model really popped for me is the front of the model itself. So obviously you can see the handrails there, nice chrome finish, as well as the hinges and the smokebox darts actually on the smokebox itself. Now you've got a really nicely detailed buffer beam there, and you do have metal buffers, although they are not sprung, but I still don't think it takes it away from the model. Now inside the cab is actually really nice. You've got quite a lot of nice detail inside the cab there itself, and quite a few separately fitted parts from what I can see. So obviously you've got the various pipeworks in there, as well as the taps as well. They're separately fitted. So overall, I think they've done a good job in terms of the cab interior. And like I said, in terms of the front of the locomotive really making this stand out, I think the same is true for the back of the locomotive. So I think you've got a really sort of nice glossy finish there, and the lining obviously to the windows of the cab, I think that's done really nicely. And again as well, you've got quite a nicely detailed buffer beam there at the back, again with metal buffers at the back, as well as obviously the coupling hook there, and nice riveting sort of all round sort of the base of it as well. So overall, quite nice. And obviously you've got the lamp hook there as well. Yeah, and just overall, I think it's a very, very stunning looking locomotive. Do I think it's worth £127? I think that's all going to depend in terms of how it performs down on the track. But overall, it is a stunning looking model itself to have, and it's just very aesthetically pleasing. And I love this livery. It's almost sort of like this mint sort of pale green colour itself, and then obviously you've got this dark green sort of olive green here, just at the top of the cab. Now one thing I have noticed as well in terms of the cab itself, now the cab is actually plastic, and like I said, in terms of obviously the separately fitted pieces or on top of the chimney, the cab is the only other metal part here. But like I said, the lining itself, you've got a nice little sort of builder's plate there. Shame there's not like a little separately fitted one, like a die cast one you can include, but for something that small, I'm not surprised. But overall, I think it is quite a pleasing looking model. So what I'll do is I'll just quickly put it on the turntable so you can just see it from all angles. Yeah, okay, right, so what is the crawl like? Let's have a look. Turn it up slightly. It doesn't seem to like the crawl. It seems to cut out a little bit. I'm not sure why. Let's try that again. It doesn't seem to like the crawl for some reason. So what I think I'm going to have to do is I'm just going to let the model run in. So let's set it off round the track. Now one thing I will say, it's very sensibly geared. Very sensibly geared actually. That's only at half power, so what if we were to go to full power? Yeah, even then that's top speed. So overall, I would say that is really, really sensibly geared, and that is definitely a plus for the locomotive. But you've got to bear in mind, these wouldn't have been able to do very good speeds either. See, they would have worked in collieries and mines and tin plants, such as the like. They were just mainly industrial locomotives. So, yeah, overall, I'm pretty happy with that. Okay, so now the model's had some time to run in. Let's see if the crawl has improved any better on the model. Not bad. In reverse. Yeah, okay, that's impressive. In reverse, that's very impressive. Alright, okay, so that is running in, and obviously the crawl test. Now obviously we're going to see what the pull is like. So overall it's got 6 wagons to pull here, and I have sort of gone for various different things, and realistically things that you could maybe realistically see it pulling, maybe something not like the Shell wagon or anything like that, but obviously these were industrial engines and this is what they were made for. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to stick it in reverse and let's just see it couple up. That was a very smooth couple up from what I saw, and let's see if it can move it. But it is moving it. So yeah, overall, the W4 Peckett by Hornby, I'm very, very impressed by it. I'd probably almost go as far as to say it's probably my favourite model I've reviewed to date, and probably one of my favourites that I own, although I do still have quite a fair few to unbox, as well as much more rolling stock. Bit of an unusual consist, obviously the Peckett is pulling there, but like I say, it did work in various industries, warehouses and factories and the like, so maybe not that unusual. So yeah, overall I am quite impressed with this. It seems a very nice, sensible runner. It's nicely tuned in terms of obviously the gearing and the speed of it. Now if you're wondering why it keeps slowly stopping every now and again, it's because there is a slight gradient here on the tables that I'm using. As you can see there, the tables are a little bit uneven, and obviously it is a work in progress and hopefully trying to get my own layout at some point soon. But yeah, overall it seems to be doing a good job there with those 6 wagons. No problem at all. I reckon it can probably handle at least another 4 or 5 more on top of that quite easy if it was a nice even surface, but it's doing okay. So yeah, the Hornby Peckett. Like I say, overall fairly impressed with the model. For the price, do I think it's worth it? I think in this day and age, I think £127 for a little 040 like this might not be everyone's cup of tea. Like I said, you could probably find it cheaper at certain retailers. But overall, like I say, I like this model. I'm glad to have it in my collection, and it's probably sent me down a bit of a rabbit hole here because I'd really like to see the other Pecketts that Hornby do now. I know they do a centenary version, and I know you've got the likes of Bear or Daphne as well, which do look really stunning in their certain liveries. So potentially in the future. But yeah, that's been my review of the Hornby 040 W4 Peckett. And just before we finish this review, I thought I'd just give you a bit of history, obviously, of Niclausse in real life. So Niclausse works number 882, built in 1902, was built for Williams and Robinsons of Queensferry, Wales, who were manufacturers of water tubes and special steels. The locomotive was actually named after a type of French-designed field tube boiler used in some of the last pre-dreadnought warships. So yeah, that's been my review of the Niclausse, the W4 Peckett by Hornby. I really hope you've enjoyed that. If you have, please consider giving it a comment down below, subscribing, and obviously tick that bell for notifications of future releases coming up. And let me know what you think of the model itself, and is £127 worth it. Personally, I'm really pleased to have it in the collection. I think the detail could be maybe a little bit better. Like I said, the plastic chimney and obviously the safety valve being plastic, I think it's a little bit of a cheap out, considering you've got such a tiny little intricate metal whistle there on top. So I really don't know what that's all about, but overall it's got a fair nice amount of die cast. I'm happy to have it. Let me know what you think, and I'll see you in the next one. See you guys.